Hey everybody, hi. Welcome to Old Style Classics Baseball Cards. As you can see here today, it is eBay. So finally got one of my three things or four things that I was waiting on for a couple weeks. So I'm not sure what this is, but I got something from eBay today. And so we'll go ahead and look at this card, and then I'll probably go ahead and move on to those 2022, even though I misspoke and kept saying 2023 chrome refractors, Allen Ginter chrome refractor numbered cards. I kept saying 2023 when I meant 2022. It gets a little crazy because the 2022s came out the end of the year, and then the chrome came out in 2023, and so now it's 2024, but we're on the 2023 set. You know what I'm saying. So sorry if I misspoke, but welcome to the pure and genuine old style classics baseball cards. If you wouldn't mind, please remember to subscribe. Just hit that button, like if you can, and leave some comments so that we can have some interchange, or I should say interactions, and discussions about what you like to collect, what you think, all that hubbub. And let's see, so just watched Junk Wax Hero and showing about Stadium Club, which I'm not a big fan of anyways, but I guess they're having all kinds of quality control problems even still after the delay. So yeah, that's pretty bad. And then watched Mangini after I did my 2 episodes yesterday, or it was either this morning or yesterday, I don't remember. But yeah, he was talking about the how Congress is getting involved with baseball, and why are they always picking on baseball, basically. And some people responded to him in the comments, which is correct. The unique case of baseball, and like if you watch Ken Burns' baseball, and the history of baseball is that baseball is America's pastime, has been given basically a monopoly to run in the United States. So they got like an antitrust exemption. So that's why there was always the issue with like the teams owning players forever, basically, until they broke that up in the late 70s, early 80s. But because they're a monopoly, technically, and the United States has let them be in the monopoly, they kind of fall under their jurisdiction. So yeah, whenever there's some issue, some big issue like steroid era and drugs in baseball and all that kind of stuff, if baseball doesn't address it, or there's some kind of dispute like between the union and Major League Baseball, then Congress gets involved. It's the same way whenever they go on strike. So if you remember through the years, whenever baseball, when there would be a strike, after so long, Congress says, you or the president you would always hear, hey, if you guys don't straighten this out, work something out, we're going to get involved. You don't want us getting involved, because then they threaten their antitrust status and all that, and that's when baseball and the owners and the players usually come around and come up with some kind of deal, because they don't want to lose their exemption. It's kind of like church, in the sense that, in the past, like in you watching movies or in stories where let's say, for example, you could go to church and get sanctuary. You know, you run into a church and you're like, I want sanctuary where they can't come in and get you, you know, like the Nazis are out to get you or something like that. Well, the thing with that is, and the loophole in America, is if you are one of these tax exempt churches where you don't pay taxes, which a lot of churches don't, on all the money they bring in through donations and whatever, if they're tax exempt, they're basically signing a contract with the government that says, okay, you won't have to pay taxes because you're a church, but you don't get that same status. You don't have the right to offer like sanctuary or even like confession. You know, like a confession can be forced, I believe. You know, like if they say, oh, did he confess to you that he killed so and so, and they put the priest under oath, if they're in that exempt status, then they would be compelled to tell what they heard. Whether the priest did it or not, that's another story, but he can be held in contempt because you're accepting the money, basically. The government saying, okay, we're not going to charge you taxes, but here's what you got to do for us. As opposed to a church that said, no, we're not going to do that. We'll pay taxes, and then they can maintain that status of anonymity. You know what I'm saying? So anyways, people, that's my 2 cents response to that. So I understand what he's saying. Whether he's just bringing it up to make a discussion or speaking, I don't know, flippantly or whatever. Maybe he didn't know, I don't know. But that's the story. And so anyways, let's move on. So I got this package, Collector's World Store, Buchanan, Virginia. Brought out the trusty Indian letter opener, so let's get to it. Alright, my wife just went to bed. We were watching the second episode of the Young Indiana Jones. 5 minutes left in the show where they're dealing with Picasso and those guys. And Disney Plus crapped out. So we weren't able to end watching that episode. It just get the wheel of death. And yeah, so I don't know, maybe Disney is doing something. But anyways, she decided to go to bed or go play a game or something like that. And so now I'm going to do an episode of Old Style Classic Baseball Cards. And here we got nothing else in there, so I took it out. And this is cool. So I know, since I only have a few things out, you know, I had an idea what this card would be, and this is the one that I thought I would probably be getting first. The other ones, I have no idea what's going on. Oh, and I'll speak to a mistake that came up in the past that I didn't address, I don't think. Alright, so what this is... Sorry, folks, I'm going to take the tape off this card protector. And so this is a PC card for me, so that should give you a clue. And it's not Danica Patrick, so that means it's going to have to be an Andre Dawson. A couple cool things about this card. And one, there aren't a whole lot. And especially nowadays, you never see it. But I would be open for Topps to do this. Even Panini, I guess. But you don't see Andre Dawson a whole lot when he played for the Boston Red Sox. Or the Florida Marlins, for that matter. And this is a card from when he played with Boston. And so that's like a 68 design. But that is not Topps. It's not Topps Heritage. This is another one of those cards that you would have got out of a baseball card magazine. So this one in particular, I don't know if it's hand cut, probably, but this one comes from 1993 Sports Cards magazine. And there's the investor tip or whatever. Dawson is a Hall of Fame candidate. Many of cards are still very affordable, even still. Alright, so that's Sports Card Magazine, kind of doing what Baseball Card Magazine and maybe Topps Magazine and all of them were doing at the time. Definitely Baseball Card Magazine a lot earlier, but they were doing these retro design cards, and they would put them in the magazine, like where you would do the get the little subscription card. So they would put those cards in the magazines, and then you would take that out, and you could either keep a panel or cut it out. But this one in particular, I don't know. Maybe this magazine had these loose cards. Sometimes magazines come in like cellophane pack, and then they'll have a pack or cards in there, or it's hand cut. To me, it doesn't really seem hand cut to me. I don't know. If it is, they did a really good job. Otherwise, it would have just been in that magazine like this. Because I'm not familiar with Sports Cards magazine. I used to buy Baseball Card magazine because I liked their design. So of course, then everyone else kind of jumped on board, and I don't know how they're able to do these old Topps designs that they did, or Bowman, unless they weren't copyrighted or the copyright had expired or something like that. And then of course Topps Heritage came out somewhere in this era, and Topps started doing their own, where they would go back to the beginning, and every year they do modern cards in that old design. So 68 was just a few years ago in Heritage. So nevertheless, so there's Andre Dawson in the Red Sox as an outfielder for the Boston Red Sox. Played for a couple seasons. I thought it was a big mistake. I'm glad he got to play somewhere, but he's kind of a line drive home run hitter, and I don't think that Fenway is the proper place for him to hit home runs, because he's more of a line drive home run hitter. Kind of like when you see Giancarlo Stanton hits his home runs, kind of very level. Not to say he didn't hit some big bombs, but he would, his kind of home runs would hit off the wall. So too bad he didn't go to Colorado. That would have been a great fit. But nevertheless, there's Andre Dawson. That 68 design, except it's really glossy and it's super thin stock. And I love the 68 set, probably because those are some of the cards I found in our old antique cabinet that we had growing up in Albuquerque there. So you can read about Dawson, what they have to say there. Talking about his 400th home run. And talking about his shot at the Hall of Fame. So card number 73, sports card. So that's pretty sweet. So digging on that. That's a really nice one. So anyways, you don't see a whole lot of Red Sox or Marlins cards of him. And coming to the end of his career, So that's super cool. That is a playing days card of him on the Red Sox. And these are the kind of oddball stuff I like. You know, this is definitely a product issue trying to entice you to buy that magazine. So you got a card, so that's straight up oddball for me. And yeah. So, oh, and the mistake, that's what I was trying to remember, that I was trying to address on those other 3 Card Magazine cards that I got a couple weeks back. One of them wasn't Baseball Card Magazine. One of them was from a different card magazine. May have been this brand. And then the other 2 were from like Baseball Card Magazine. So I thought all 3 of them were from Baseball Card Magazine, but one wasn't. I didn't notice until later on watching the video, and then I completely forgot by the time I did the next video. So any of my other Dawson collectors out there, do you guys have this card? Because that's a pretty cool image of him. Yeah, it looks pretty good in the Red Sox uniform. You don't really think of him that way. And like I've said in the past, I'm at the point where I'm ready for Topps to go ahead and, you know, put out a card of him in the Red Sox. I'd love to see an Allen and Ginter of him on the Red Sox. And then maybe a little later, maybe a couple seasons later or something like that, go ahead and put him in a Marlins uniform. I think that would be cool. You could still put him in like the insert set, like the Long Ball Lore or Home Run Heroes or whatever, as a cover and expo as like one of the insert cards, or maybe his relic, or you know, super short print could still be Cubs or Marlins or something. But it would be cool if they did base with him on the Red Sox and the Marlins, because you see they do it with Frank Thomas, Wade Boggs. They'll be in the Devil Rays or the A's uniform instead of like the White Sox or the Red Sox or Yankees or whatever. So that's super cool. Go into my PC. You know, sure, not a lot of people have this card or, you know, consider these kind of cards, but that's super cool to me, so I'm digging that. Alright folks, so why don't I go ahead and cut it off there, because I was going to start showing you my 2022s, but already at about 18 minutes, so I can cut it off and just do a second video. And that way it doesn't turn into 45 minutes. Alright, so tell me what you think. What kind of Card Magazine cards do you have? Do you have them still on the panels? Did you get them hand cut? Did you hand cut them? You know, do you got any images or anything that you would, you know, or another, you know, post a video and show me what you got. Yeah, so these are cool cards that don't get a whole lot of attention, any of those magazine cards. Why don't I do this real quick before I shut this off, since we're still just at about 20 minutes. I'll just grab my binder here really quick and show you those other ones that I was talking about. Here they are right here. So these 3 I got from the same seller. These are all out of Card Magazines. That was I believe that's the 70 Topps design. And that one is Baseball Card Price something monthly. Dagnabbit. It's glasses, folks. Baseball Card Price Guide Monthly. So that, and you can see they're all a little different. This one's definitely hand cut. This one here is, so there we go, that's Baseball Card Magazine. So that's the brand that I used to buy, is the Baseball Card Magazine. And then we have this one, which is a little smaller, but it's the same size as that one, so that's probably that same other brand. Yeah, with the same investment thing. No, Baseball Card Magazine. So these two are the same company. This is a different company. Come on. It's nothing worse when it's off. So Baseball Card Price Guide Monthly. So I guess these two are the same. Nope, Sports Card Magazine. So 3 different ones. So there you go. Those are my and now I do have a couple Andre Dawsons that aren't any of these up in my oddball box that I haven't got around to yet. In the panel still, so I would never cut them myself because I'm not confident in my own ability for cutting those cards out. But there you go, so that's that. Let's see, what do we got here? Oh, here's another one. This is from Topps Magazine. So I don't know how they came in Topps Magazine because I never had Topps Magazine. So that looks probably like it was just inserted in the actual magazine, or one of those ones that would come in cellophane. Alright, then what is this? One more, people. This is... No, this is just an Upper Deck Fun pack, so it looked like it could have been, but there's a Red Sox. Andre Dawson as well. But I don't think that's from a magazine. I think that's just a special one that you would pick up, you know, more geared towards kids. Upper Deck. So I'm not too sure how these came. If anyone knows, you could let me know. That'd be nice. But anyway, so there you go. A couple of Andre Dawsons as a Red Sox, actually. So that's interesting. And, well, don't want to leave him left out. There's one as him as a Marlin. So, just figure I'd throw that in by Pinnacle. So, just to show one of the Marlin cards. Here's the Cubs. Dawson as a Cub. Alright, so... really quick. Now I feel obligated to show you guys. One is Andre Dawson as an Expo. So there you go, another oddball. There's that Roston Perina. So there you go, Andre Dawson on all 4 teams that he's been with. Alright folks, so thanks for watching Old Style Classic Baseball Cards, and thanks for joining me, and I'll be right back with my 2022 Allen Ginter Chrome numbered refractor cards. Thanks.